Short-term rental cheat code 27, screenshot reviews. Now this little hack is something that I actually developed myself by accident, right? This is something that happened to me when I had a guest that I wasn't sure if he was going to review me. It was pretty close to the end of the review period. And I was like, you know what? I need to make sure that he sees that I had a great experience with him, so he is motivated to take action and actually send me a 5-star review. Because like, if anyone's gonna send me a 5-star review, it's that guy. I don't wanna miss it. And I screenshotted it and I sent it to him, and it invited him very simply to reciprocate and share a review. Now, there's a few things to be able to improve your reviews that I wanna bring up, because anything and everything that happens during their stay could potentially, not guaranteed, but could potentially show up in your review. So it's really important that you know how your guest has been experiencing your property, right? Because if there's something that was a little bit off and you don't address it beforehand, it could potentially drop from 5-star down to a 4-star review, and all it would be was like, hey, I needed some extra coffee pods. It could be something very simple that could have been remediated in 3 to 5 minutes, and yet it can impact your business significantly if you don't take care of it during the stay. So one of the things that I think is really helpful with this is you need to learn what your guest expects during their stay, right? Learn guest expectations during their stay, or else there's going to be some problems happen. Let me tell you a quick story. Now, I had these other short-term rental hosts. I'm not going to say their name for confidentiality, but they were these awesome hosts. They've done thousands of stays, and they gave me a relatively bad impression the very first time that they came into my property. And what happened was I had one hair left, not on the toilet seat, under the toilet seat. And they were one of those very, very neat freak type of people. And I had a new cleaner, and she didn't notice that, even though she had cleaned the actual toilet. So that hairy situation made me learn very quickly that you have to trust but verify every single thing in your cleaning process and make sure that your maintenance is happening, right? So what we ended up doing, I had my mother actually go and clean it again, even though it had been cleaned. And I wanted to make sure that they were happy about it. And we were able to get a 5-star review out of it simply because it happened during their stay and I was able to help them during their stay within the first half an hour of them actually showing up. After that, they gave me some really great suggestions. And one of them that I was like, how did I not know this? Was, I'm gonna go back 2 slides just to show you this. They told me, hey, you know what? If you add extra coat hangers, just like these, it can add another little bit of amenity that your guests may like. Because I was like, oh, I've got the rack. That's probably enough. But they're like, if you put just a few more, that will make it a little bit nicer. And sometimes you can learn from other hosts just like that, and those little tips go a long way, right? Every single guest has a different perspective, and that's one thing that can absolutely help you in your business. Now, getting right back to this. Right after that hairy situation, I wanted to give you one other idea here. This is something that you can send directly to your guests. Say, please report any issues, suggestions, or challenges during your stay to me privately so we can resolve them promptly. Thank you for not mentioning them in your review. If you don't ask, there is a chance that they will do that, right? So when you send this type of a message, it doesn't have to be these exact words, but this gives you an opportunity to make sure that they know, hey, I want to make sure that your expectations are met. And because there are always something that could potentially happen, it's better to do it during your stay than after, right? You don't want to have any surprises in your reviews, right? All right, one other thing. When you are screenshotting a review, it's helpful to not just screenshot what you wrote about them, but also screenshot the stars that you sent them. So this is a recent one. This barely happened a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. My friend David, he stayed in our place. He was an awesome guest. Absolutely loved having him. We had a great experience, and he hadn't left me a review a day or two after he'd stayed. And I was like, I'm gonna make sure I do this. So I screenshotted what I had reviewed him with, and I sent it to him. And almost immediately, he's like, oh, great. And he left me a great review. He said, Brigham's listing was great. He was very quick to respond to any concerns I had. The place was amazing and very comfortable. His family was amazing and very welcoming. Definitely would stay here again when I'm back in town, right? That was a very enthusiastic and great 5-star review. Sometimes this law of reciprocity, it doesn't have to be hard or difficult. It's just make sure that they know that they're thought of, they're listened to, and when something pops up, you address it during the stay so that it doesn't show up in your review. Hope that was helpful.